Hello, English 113. Welcome to week 3 of our semester. This week is kind of about poetry. The goals for the week is to kind of have an introduction and overview of poetry, the elements, and kind of what it does. We're going to do an assignment, which is to connect poetry by looking at lyrics to songs. We'll talk about that in a second. Also, this week you're going to start reading the short story, which is listed below, and you should continue to read the book Raisin in the Sun. Should be more than halfway done with that if you haven't finished it already. Okay, so what are you going to do? Well, you're going to watch the little lecture on poetry, which is right here. Oh, and then you're going to work on essay 2, which we'll talk about in just a second. And then you're going to read The Lottery. That's the short story, The Lottery. Okay, and that is found here. Okay, so first of all, again, watch the lecture on poetry. It's about 14 minutes long, 14. Better than an hour. Anyway, it talks about some of the basics of poetry, some of the elements and stuff like that. You're going to need to watch this because that's going to connect with this next thing. Now, in this day and age, not a lot of people read poems, which is kind of sad, and poetry, but a lot of people love to listen to music. Well, lyrics are a form of poetry. And so what you're going to do is that you get to write down the lyrics to 3 of your favorite songs, okay? Write down the lyrics to 3 of your favorite songs. Then you're going to analyze them, okay? And in the essay, you're going to answer the following questions to each of the songs, okay? So you write down the lyrics of the songs, and you write, so let's say you write down the lyrics of one song, and then you answer these 3 questions. Write down the lyrics to another song, then answer these 3 questions, and so on, okay? So, the first question is, did the song use a rhyming scheme? You're like, well, what's a rhyming scheme? Well, guess what? If you look at the poetry lecture and watch that, it will teach you that. Okay? If it does use a rhyming scheme, how would you describe it based on what you've learned in the lecture? Okay? Don't want to spoil this too much because I really want you to learn it in the poetry lecture. Okay? What about this song makes it one of your favorites? Okay? So, the idea is there's a reason why one of these songs is your favorite, is that what about this song makes it one of your favorites? Maybe it's the music. Maybe it has nothing to do with the lyrics. Maybe after you read the lyrics, you realized, the song isn't what I thought about, okay? If the lyrics were different, would it still be one of your favorites? So if you were to change some of the words around, do you think you could improve upon it? Or do you think that it's just perfect the way that it is, okay? And last but not least, how does this song make you feel when you listen to it, and why? Sometimes songs can make you feel powerful. Sometimes they can make you feel sad. Sometimes they can make you feel happy. Sometimes they can make you feel nostalgic. Okay? So the idea here is that poetry connects with us in our lives. And it's part of, why do people create poetry? Well, often it's to express how they feel, or express how they feel during a certain time, or they want to be able to tell someone. And the way they can do it is through poetry, and a lot of that is also through lyrics and songs, okay? Then the people can read the poetry and kind of feel that same way and can relate to it. The goal here is to have you realize that you already like poetry if you like songs, okay? If you don't like songs, this may be a challenge to you, but most people, like at least something, okay? You already like poetry, and a lot of it is very lyrical, very poetic in nature. So that's kind of the goal of essay 2, is to, help you see the connection between poetry and the way you live life already. Okay. Note that if your song is filled with curse words, please feel free to edit them as needed. Okay. The reason I say this is that Shaw University is a Baptist university. It is a religious university. So if you feel uncomfortable putting in the swear words, go ahead and just edit them as you see fit. Again, I will know what they mean, okay, but that's your choice. I personally prefer not to read those words, but I'm not going to make that a mandated thing. So that is the assignment. That is due by August 28th by 11:55 p.m., this essay right here. And again, if you click on it, it shows you. Well, let's do this. Let's switch my role over to student, so you can see what student view. If you look at lyrics, let's see, where is it? Right here. You click on this. The rubric is right here. Okay. This is how you get graded on this. Okay. So did you include the lyrics for all 3 songs? Did you use complete sentences when answering the questions? Did you answer all the questions? And did you have any spelling or grammar issues? So this is how you are graded on this assignment. There is that. Okay. And then the next thing you get to do is read the lottery, okay? You can read it by copying and pasting this into your web browser, or if you click there, it should take you to it. The lottery is not super long. It's probably, well, I don't want to ruin it for you. 5 pages, maybe, okay? And I'm not going to tell you anything about it. If you have no idea about the lottery, then even better, I want you to go on it with no clue, okay? Because that will tie us into what we're doing for next week. So this week, pretty straightforward. Again, watch the poetry lecture. After you watch the poetry lecture, then use what you've learned in the poetry lecture to help you with Essay 2. And then during the week, read the lottery, which is, again, a short story. Okay. All right. Well, go get to work.